All right, we're back for part 2 of the Durant wheels, where we scuff it down and we throw some paint on it. Alright, now on this wheel I'm just going to use a regular old red Scotch-Brite pad. You can get these at any auto parts store. Usually most hardware stores carry them. I'm pretty sure it's the equivalent of 320 grit sandpaper. It just gets in all the contours. So let's get to scuffing. Alright, now the whole reason I'm scuffing this up is to give something for the paint to adhere to. If you leave it slick, it's just going to slide on out like a late night at the bar with Tammy. Just like earlier when we were talking about getting good paint adhesion, you also don't want any silicates from things like tire shine or even your fingers. Any type of oil, she'll slide on out of there. I use Nason. I get it locally, pretty good. Pretty sure DuPont makes this stuff. This is just a quick clean. It's a grease and wax remover, so we're going to go ahead and wipe it down before we mix up some paint.
She lays on my mind, get me back to Alabama on that Birmingham line. Let's play it now.
Here's the rag I was just using on the wheel to wipe everything off, to give you an idea of what all's still lingering. Even though you've blown it off 1,000 times, you still got to wipe it down. Make sure you keep rotating your rag as well, so you're not just smearing around the oil. All right, let's go mix some paint. All right, welcome to the mixing table. Today we're going to be using a urethane single stage paint. It's Memorial Day weekend, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting any base clear mixed up anytime soon. So we're just going to use what we have. Urethane single stage will do the same job. It's a catalyzed paint. You're going to mix an 8 parts paint to 1 part activator to 2 parts reducer. And this cup doesn't have an 8:1:2 on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the equal parts ratio right there, and we're just going to put 8 parts to 1 part to 2 parts. Make sure to shake it up. Get her all mixed in, and find something to open it with. Flathead screwdriver will work. So we got the jet black. This is always the worst part. I always make a mess. Hopefully I won't make a mess, but I'm pretty sure I'll make a mess. Made a mess. Every time. All right, now that I've wasted half of it, I always like to check the consistency. I can dip the stick down in there and get her to drip. It's good and thin, just the way I like it. And I always keep a little bit of lacquer thinner in the gun just to make sure she stays clean. And pour the excess back in to be recycled. This will keep from getting trash in the paint, even though I'm spraying outside, so this really isn't helping me any. But we're going to do it anyway. We'll see you outside.
I'm making him move his truck so he doesn't paint it. If you were wondering where we park everything, we park it in the grass, in the front yard. Whatever works.
Now, as with any aerosol paint, you want a good respirator. Especially with urethanes being catalyzed, you want a charcoal filter. I do not have charcoal filters. I got these old crusty paper filters, but they'll have to do for now. Just letting you know to stay safe.
He was my jumper, feed the dog. He was my jumper, make you and feed the dog. He got my track, didn't do nothing at all. Up for the floor, neck on for the feet. Up for the floor, neck on for the feet. He got my track, now I'm my track too.
All right, now with this stuff, you want to hit it with a real light dust coat at first. Let it tack up after about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the weather. I think I get by with about 10 minutes today, and then hit right back at it. All right, here's the first coat. Like I said, just give her a pretty light dusting. Give it enough time to tack up. And we'll hit her again here shortly. All right, let's go ahead and give her a second coat.
Walk my jumper, feed the dog. Then you walk my jumper, make you and feed the dog. Got my track, didn't do nothing at all.
All right, here is coat number 2. She's starting to show her shine. Turning out pretty good. Now, the way that I like to go about spraying a single stage paint or a clear coat is that first coat, make sure to spray a light dust coat, let it get tacky. Second coat, make it a little bit heavier. And the third coat, I just give it the beans. All the beans. Let's put a third coat on there. All right, 3 coats, baby. There we go. Looking good. I'm super happy with how this is turning out. She's got the shine. All right, folks, I think we're gonna call that good with 3 coats. That turned out so good. I'm gonna give it some time to cure before I pull the tape off, and we'll give you a sneak peek of what it looks like all finished up. Now I'm gonna go clean my gun. I still got some black paint in here. Does anybody need anything painted black?
No.
Okay. All right, well, it was sitting outside looking real pretty. It's not cured yet, but I couldn't contain my excitement. So we're gonna very carefully start peeling the tape off.
Way long time, I know I ain't a snitcher. What the good Lord hates to sin. Now it's 1800 and it's 94. The old people wrote me in the workhouse store. It's 1800 and it's 95. These people in this town don't.
All right, folks, here it is. Man, that looks beautiful. So glorious. So triumphant.
trying to stitch their way into heaven. Nice
So modern.
Get out of here.
All right, folks, well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I appreciate you sticking around. That thing turned out beautiful. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest project. We'll see you next week.
And don't I hate a snitcher? What the good Lord is.